I talk about Harvard a lot on my channel. My first day at Harvard, my dorm room at Harvard, why my 4.0 at Harvard was a failure. To be honest, a lot of people click on these videos only because of the Harvard name. See, it has a certain mystique to it, a certain appeal that interests people from all around the world. And with that appeal comes also a few assumptions, and the biggest of which I think is money. See, a lot of people see Harvard as a place for rich kids from rich families, and therefore they assume that I too must be a rich kid from a rich family, and that assumption isn't wrong. I think I actually come from one of the richest families at Harvard, just rich in a different sense of the word.
Are you a rich man?
When you mean rich, what you mean?
Do you have a lot of possessions? A lot of money in the bank?
Position make you rich? I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life, forever.
I was born in a pretty regular-sized city in Canada. We've always lived in modest houses. We've had one car. I have two siblings, a brother and a sister, and we've always gone to public schools. For whatever spending money we've wanted, we've worked for it. I mean, I've worked full-time jobs since I was 15 to pay for things that I wanted. Things like phones, laptops, even, a lot of my tuition at Harvard. And that's not to say that my family has no privilege at all. I mean, I feel incredibly lucky and blessed to be from a middle-class background. And it's also not to say that my parents just abandoned us. I mean, what they chose to do was invest in us in other ways than just by throwing money at us to make us happy. Meet my mom. She's a writer by trade, but maybe a better way to describe her is as a master of the English language. See, she's written multiple published books, and now she spends a lot of her time editing other people's work and writing for nonprofit organizations. And my dad, he's a physics aficionado and probably one of the best teachers that I've ever seen. He teaches at my high school, teaches physics, and then every few years he takes a leave and he goes and travels the world with a theoretical physics think tank, delivering workshops about physics and science education. Neither of them make a ton of money, but they are very rich in a different form of currency. Life. See, when I was a kid, I remember going on day trips with my mom to libraries, museums, art galleries, zoos. I mean, we just did so much in the real world, and I remember spending weeks of my summer at camps. We would go to art camp or sport camp, and then the weeks that we weren't at camp, we'd go out and do something together as a family. We might go to my aunt's cottage in Quebec, where we'd spend hours on the beach, setting up shops using sea glass as a currency. Or we might go camping together, spending the days hiking and exploring nature and the evenings cooking hot dogs and marshmallows over a campfire. I mean, no matter what, my parents never brought along work or stress on these trips. It was just a time for us to go out as a family and to have fun. My parents have always supported me in anything and everything that I've done. I've played high-level sports from a young age, and my dad was always there, taking days off work to go bring me to a soccer tournament, to a track race. And my parents have never questioned supporting me. When it came to buying new cleats, new running shoes, paying really expensive team fees, they would make it work, and they didn't want me to worry about it. Instead, they just wanted me to chase my dreams and to have fun doing it. When I've wanted to do projects, like for science fair, my dad was always there to help me with the technical side of things, while my mom was there to help me communicate them. I mean, they've never done my work for me, but at the same time, they've never said no when I've asked for help. More than anything, they've always encouraged me to follow my dreams, and they've always done everything that they could to make that possible. See, instead of just money, they also invested their time, their love, and their energy. They showed me that life, it's not just about money. It's not just about power. It's not just about fame. The most important thing in life is love. I have no doubt that either of my parents could have been very monetarily wealthy people. They're both smart and driven. They could have easily found jobs in healthcare, finance that would have paid them much more than they're making right now. But see, if they had done that, if they had taken high-intensity jobs that required them to be there 9 to 5 all year round, then, well, how could they have taken weeks off to go camping with my siblings and I? And even if they could do that, they could take vacation, how could they take afternoons off or days off to go to soccer tournaments, track meets? How would they find the energy to go to zoos and museums and art galleries with us? I mean, I'm not sure that they could have. And I think that that possibility is incredibly scary, because those are the best parts of my childhood. Those are the things that made me into the person that I am today. Let me ask you, what makes a good life? Is it money? Or is it relationships and love and family? Ultimately, you need money to survive and to be comfortable in your relationships, but money is a tool. It's a means to an end, not an end in itself. And if there's one thing that my parents have taught me, it's that. When I'm on my deathbed, I'm not going to be thinking about the number of commas in my bank account. I'm going to be thinking about the relationships that I have, the people that I love. My parents have lived their lives with love, and so though they have relatively modest salaries, they're incredibly rich. That's not to say that there's never anything wrong in our lives. We have fights and stresses just like every family. But I've never questioned whether my parents love me, whether they support me, and whether they do anything for me. And that's what makes a big difference. I've been very lucky throughout my life to have experiences that very few people get the opportunity to have. And yet, with every opportunity, every experience that I've had, the luckiest that I've ever been was being born to my parents. Mom, Dad, I love you. Thank you for always being there for me. Thank you for supporting me in whatever endeavor I choose to pursue. It's incredible knowing that I have two wonderful people like you always in my corner. I'm always going to do my best to make you proud.